Hello, dear friends. Let me welcome everyone presently watching Sotnik-TV. Today is May 23rd, 2020. It's 1 past 7 p.m. in Moscow, and our Saturday summary show is on. These are few results of reforming healthcare system in Russia during the pandemic. Let me cite. The city of Derbent in Dagestan region of Russia was visited by a group of medics from Moscow. Following the visit, a statement was released that was dedicated to the lack of medicine due to the fake coronavirus stats in the region. Irina Tragira, the head of the group of medics, uncovered a few so-called shortcomings. The number of coronavirus infection and mortality cases in Dagestan region is understated. According to Mrs. Tragira, not all infection cases are registered as people prefer to stay at home while sick. It's also difficult to perform testing as well as to obtain the results on time. That's why many people experience the symptoms of COVID-19, but are diagnosed with pneumonia, as reported by the head of the group. Mrs. Tragira explained that the amount of medicine provided to a region in Russia depends on the official number of infection and mortality cases. Understating that number in Dagestan leads to a catastrophic shortage on medicine there. While visiting hospitals in the region, the medics uncovered other problems such as lack of equipment and so on. As you see, that circle of lie may lead to people dying. Lying is unsafe. While the people of Russia get used to lying so much. Dagestan region is located next to Chechnya, whose head Ramzan Kadyrov enjoys making people ask for an excuse. Mr. Kadyrov has allegedly been infected with corona recently, and many rumors circulate around this story. Let me now cite Adam Zelimkhanov, Kadyrov's associate, who writes the following. The people of Chechnya are praying for his good health, asking God to cure Ramzan Kadyrov. The people and the nation needs Kadyrov. And here's another statement from his another associate, Mr. Daudov. Thank God Mr. Kadyrov is in good health. All the recent news about him are fake and I know there's no need to worry. End of quote. Those were the two totally controversial statements. We in Sotnik-TV only consider the news from official outlets. Still, we all remember the recent story over Kim Jong-un. He was not reported neither dead nor alive for several days. Such things often happen to dictators and to odious politicians. Some of them can still be alive but smell like a dead body, while others can be pretending alive even after death. That was one of the topics I've discussed with Boris Tomachin, a writer. Boris, here's my first question for you. Ramzan Kadyrov got sick. According to doctors, he is now in heavy condition. Up to 70% of his lungs may now be damaged. Do you think that such situation may lead to worsening the relations between clans in Chechnya? Should we expect growing tensions in Chechnya and the rest of the region? If Mr. Kadyrov gets better and returns to his office as a result, I doubt that anything may change dramatically while he is gone. But if he dies, the whole region may explode. It's still hard for me to understand how can the people of Chechnya put up with the Kadyrov insane regime that has been set up many years ago. In fact, Ramzan Kadyrov is one of the people placed to power over the region by Russian forces. His role is to restrain the people of Chechnya striving for independence, as well as the rest of the peoples in the region, who wish pretty much the same. All people in the world deserve freedom and need to obtain it as a result. Once Mr. Kadyrov is gone, some rough scenario may wait for the region. There's a known theory according to which Kadyrov's job is to hold the battlements of Russian special officers who are willing to start another war in his region. That's why they hate him so much. He keeps them from attacking his region, controlling his people by quite severe means. So Kremlin has no reason to send troops there. I don't know how much of that is the truth. This theory reminds me of another one, suggesting that if not for Alexander Lukashenko, who keeps Moscow from attacking his country, there would be a Putin's man in charge of Belarus. Speaking of Ramzan Kadyrov, I sincerely wish him death. It's hard to imagine a person who would be as disgusting as he is. Once he is gone, his associates may lose their positions that will lead to an upheaval. I'm not sure whether there will be another war in Chechnya, but I hope that sooner or later the people there will be free. They have been fighting for their freedom for over 400 years, and their struggle finally needs to result in something. Today I also had a conversation with Dmitry Potapenko, an economist and businessman. We've discussed the ongoing events in Russia, such as the first wave of the pandemic and the fifth term of Vladimir Putin's presidency. Here's my first question for you, Dmitry. Bloomberg predicts a financial crisis in Russia not seen from early 90s. For example, the country's GDP may drop by 16% during the second quarter of 2020. Not to mention the 9 trillion ruble budget gap. Will such situation lead to any uprising inside Russia, similar to what we saw in the end of the Soviet age? I doubt that it will. I believe that the reporters in Bloomberg are overestimating. I suppose that GDP is to drop less. I believe it will drop by 8 to 11%. Let's make it 9.6. And I don't think that will provoke a wave of unrest. The Central Bank of Russia has recently issued around 1.5 trillion rubles that are not secured by any means. The authorities may now stick to the following scenario. They may bankrupt the remaining small and medium businesses, as well as deport labor immigrants back to their home countries. The people inside the country will lose their jobs as the companies go bankrupt. The majority of them will go totally broke, yet will be obliged to repay to banks. So those people will be forced to take the former immigrants' jobs and to work for food. Still, they will have jobs and won't uprise, as any uprising takes a kind of a civil society. What do you think of the following scenario? After the first wave of the pandemic, the authorities will hold a voting day that will grant Vladimir Putin a right for his fifth president term. In fact, no voting makes difference. Still, Mr. Putin wants to demonstrate his legitimacy to the rest of the world. A financial default may wait for the country in July or in August, while the authorities will adopt a new lockdown state and make people stay at home while Vladimir Putin stays at power for another 16 years. I guess that Vladimir Putin will only withdraw from power whenever he thinks is the right time. It's up to him to decide when to withdraw. Still, he is now pretending that people's voting can make a change. There's no problem in declaring a pandemic in Russia whenever the officials want to. They have now developed a perfect way of that, and are really glad about our own success. During the past 20 years, the authorities were building law enforcement structures. They were developing special services and National Guard in order to keep people from the streets. Then they saw that after declaring a pandemic, Russians stayed home. Some unknown virus turned out enough to keep Russians from protesting. Speaking of the coming economical default, I don't think it will be as harsh as the one back in 2008. The one in 2008 was a state default, and now the state has no obligations. So the future default will have much to do with the big companies owned by the state and won't be about regular citizens of Russia. Even though the ruble exchange rate will drop as a result of that. Take care of yourself, take care of your health and soul, as well as of your reputation. I will meet you next week. Bye now.